everybody, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. This week we are doing this sketch. It is quite a fun one, actually. It's a neat one that Rachel found, and I'm excited to kind of get started here. So I found this piece of Amy Tangerine paper, and I really liked it because I thought I'd be able to do a lot of journaling on it, which is kind of my goal. And so I also found just a few strips of from my scrap bin. I am in the process of trying to use up as many of my scraps as possible. My bin's just getting a little bit too full for me. And what I decided to do is, compared to the sketch, I'm just moving everything over just a little bit. But I have this photo, and this is of my son's room before it turned into his bed is a 4-in-1, so his bed could turn into a toddler bed. And this was done basically right before, and I had just managed to get his room clean, and I took a really quick snap because I knew it wouldn't stay like that for very long. My child does not like to have a clean room. But I wanted to document it and just kind of highlight the fact that this is what his room looked like when he was 2. And it is changed, and we're going to take a quick photo of it before we change it again, as the baby and Jackson will share a room for a little while until we move. And so I want to make sure to take a photo of that before it changes again. And I just think it's kind of a fun thing to highlight what your room looked like when you were younger. I wish I knew. I took photos of my room, especially when I was a teenager. I really wish I had taken photos of stuff like that so I could remember. And so I'm just doing it for him. Not sure if he'll even care, but I do. And I'm going to take these stickers. I love them. I love the font of them, but I have a really, really hard time using them within the different colors. I can't, for some reason. Every once in a while I can do it, but for the most part I need my my words to be the same color. And so I found a simple solution. I'm just going to pull out all the letters I need. I'm trying to figure out if I want to spell the word room or 2, and I actually end up spelling both of them. And I'm going to just use some of my shimmers, and it is in the really dark teal color to kind of help match that piece of pattern paper. And I'm just going to paint them, and you're going to see me do that here, I believe. But you're seeing me kind of play around. I'm also trying to figure out where on this layout my title is going to be, because it's going to be quite prominent. I want it to be a bigger title. And so you can see I'm also pulling out the letters to make the word 2. So it's a boring title, but it's going to be called Your Room at 2. So here I'm going to take this. I believe it's the Tides That Bind. And I was thinking about maybe the teal, the really light teal that I have. It's a See You in the Morning, but that's not going to work. So to kind of conserve and not waste anything, I just flipped this over, and I'm just going to paint everything over there. Again, I just take a paintbrush that I own, and I'm just going to slightly go over them. I love this. It takes a couple coats. I think it was a 2-coat process. I kind of did layer it on quite thick. And because this is a textures, it does tend to be a little bit easier to coat than the other ones, I find, because it's a little, I don't know, it's a little more gritty, so it tends to stick better. You can still see some of the patterns through the dazzlers, but I'm okay with that. That part's fine as long as the color is the same. So weird, I know, but I can't help it. And in order to make out the word at and your, I took some Amy Tan, those transparency stickers that I am obsessed with using, and I took all of the ones that have already been used. So it's the outline of the words, and I just trimmed them, and they're going to make the whole title. And I thought that was neat. I love to do this. I do it every once in a while. I'm always excited. I never really thought to do a whole word like that, though, so I'm excited. I did get those used up too. So that's going to be my title. It is going to get shoved over a little bit. You're going to see it kind of get pushed. I play with this title. This was the hardest part of the entire layout for me. The rest of it just kind of came together, but this title was just not my friend. So I'm just playing around. You're going to see me do that. And just as a reminder, as you're watching me do this, don't forget to check out Rachel's take for this sketch. She was the one that got to pick it out. So I always find that if we're the ones picking it out, it turns out a little bit we tend to try harder, maybe, I guess is the word, to make it work. So as I'm still kind of debating about how to go about my title, I am picking a piece of pattern paper here. I wanted another pop of color, something I could add my embellishments with, and I decided to go with this black and white. You can't see a lot of it, but it's enough that you can tell there's black underneath it, but I just wanted something for a little bit more of a different layer and texture underneath my photo besides just the tissue paper, and I really like the way that that looks. I do trim it a little bit because it's a little too much, and I didn't plan as correctly as I could have. I really almost wish that I had taken that piece of pattern paper that is the big strip and switched it so that the triangles were at the bottom, but I didn't. It's okay, it still works out just fine. So now I'm going to work on my embellishments, and I don't do a lot actually to this, just a few little pieces, but because I use that black and white as a pattern paper at the bottom, I get to bring in a little tag here in teal again, but then I get to bring in that little magnet that is also black and white striped, and it fits really well. I love the way that that looks, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put that, and it does go right there. That's where its home is, and I really love the way that looks, and I believe that is from Simple Stories. And then I'm just going to try to figure out what else I want to do. I took a little strip of that black and white that I had from when I trimmed it, and I just put that over there on the other side just so there's a little bit of continuity within my layout. And then I loved that little piece of ephemera that says dream. He's not sleeping in it, like he's not even in the photo, but it's still at your room, so dream is very fitting. And I'm going to just add a few little stars that you're going to see here, and I love the way that that turns out as well. You can see I'm still kind of contemplating on what I want to do. I do decide to kind of help make that piece of ephemera stand out. I'm going to just trace it with my black Sharpie. I am running out of ink with my Sharpies. I need to get about 6 black ones and a couple gray ones. I do miss my gray Sharpie and having that little bit of a lighter choice when it comes to my journaling and everything, so it's on my wish list to get. I think I'll ask Santa for it for Christmas. But I'm just quickly outlining it just so it kind of helps pop off the page, because you're putting a piece of teal on a piece of teal background. So I just find that it helped just enough, and you can see it just a little bit better. And again, there's black and white accents everywhere anyway, so it just kind of helps. I'm then going to pull out from this Simple Story sticker sheet just the really fun sketchy stars. I'll put 3 of them on my layouts for the triangle effect. And I really love the way that turns out as well. And stars, to me, again, with the dream, it kind of just all fit together. With a bedroom scene, I thought it fit really well. I'm going to go through all of my chipboard and think and think and think. I don't think I actually pull out anything else, but I did look through it all to try. I am trying to get through my stuff, like I said, and the faster I get through this stuff, the sooner I can buy new stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do here, but nothing, I don't think anything else gets used. I leave this very minimal. I'm just going to add my journaling at the bottom, right in that square. I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to put that, so it was kind of neat to figure that out. And the last piece you're going to see is I add just a strip of navy and another strip of black and white, and then my journaling will appear at the end. So thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will be back in December with 2 more fun episodes for you. Bye everyone!